Griffin combat echelons are specialized combat teams that are trained in dealing with specific threats. The GCE system was created after an alliance formed between Griffin and the SCP Foundation after Kruger's arrest during the Singularity incident in Dimension 65's timeline. After the alliance was formed, the Foundation helped establish the GCE system, which was heavily based upon their mobile task force system, as well as a level-based personnel system much like their own system. Since the GCE system was created, Griffin has shown greater survivability rates, morale, and overall greater organization. However, because of the alliance, Griffin often has to send high-level personnel to assist with the Foundation for various things, usually SCP testing and reinforcements from hostile GOI attacks and/or containment breaches. Depending on their weapon type, skills, weapon history, and overall role, every TL in Griffin is assigned to at least one GCE. During an activity, the GCE can be assigned for protection, maintenance, logistics, etc. Some GCEs are even completely unknown to levels 2 and under due to the extremely classified information unlocked with levels 3 and 4 classification. New GCEs can be proposed, accepted, and created to fulfill a specific role within Griffin combat operations. Alpha 1 Heart-Shaped Dice. GCE Alpha 1 are a group of elite TDALs with only Commander's most loyal, trusted, and valued TDALs. As such, they report to Commander directly and run operations of all sorts, ranging from internal security, overseeing all of Griffin, combat operations, extremely classified operations, personal security for Commander, etc. Alpha 1 holds the highest authority over all Griffin TDALs. All DALs in Alpha 1 are married to Commander, have level 4 clearance, with Galil being level 5, have at least one active copy around, well, most do, and have the highest priority over enhanced equipment. Further information regarding Alpha 1 besides basic information is heavily classified under level 3 and up clearance. Unauthorized access will result in termination. Alpha 4 Mindfreak. GCE Alpha 4 specializes in operations involving electronic warfare, as well as deception, counterintelligence tactics, and overall cybersecurity within Griffin. Once connected into level 2 consciousness and opening the connection for entry, Alpha 4 will often call assistance from another GCE for combat support, both within the connection and externally. Since its founding, leadership of Alpha 4 has constantly shifted between MDR. After the Singularity incident, MDR now has full leadership of Alpha 4 due to Omicron Force disavowance. Upgrades to allow human mind entry, which essentially allows electronic warfare to be done in human mind, are only permitted by level 4 and 5 clearance, which is all of Alpha 1, as the tech for it is strictly classified. Beta 1 Trading Jacks. GCE Beta 1 consists of assault teams being given a wide range of specialties, ranging from anti-infantry to engaging SF ringleaders. Designated as the Jack of all trades, the majority of GCEs sent into battle are of Beta 1, usually fighting alongside Alpha 1 and Gamma 3, and sometimes Epsilon 1. Specialized assault teams are typically transferred to another GCE, such as Beta 5 or Delta 7, to deal with a specific enemy unit or formation that Beta 1 would normally have trouble with. It is generally advised to keep Beta 1 away from armored enemies, as Beta 1 has little to no anti-armor capabilities. Beta 5 Crescent Light. GCE Beta 5 specializes in combat operations in night or otherwise complete darkness. Beta 5 consists of assault rifle dolls that specialize in nighttime ops plus its supporting units. They typically run night operations alongside Beta 1, Gamma 3, Alpha 1, and sometimes Epsilon 1. Beta 5 is also assigned to help schedule date nights between Commander and the TDALs under oversight by Alpha 1. The unit was founded by OTS-14 Groza after Operation. As of then, Groza was titled as the unit commander for Beta 5. Due to their skills only being truly effective at night, they cannot participate in daytime fights unless absolutely necessary or in extreme circumstances. Armored enemies should be avoided as Beta 5 has little to no anti-armor capabilities. Gamma 3 Bamboo Growers. GCE Gamma 3 specializes in combat against armored units ranging from Aegis units to small Hydra clusters. Gamma 3 consists of only snipers and their company support pistols. Most of their focus is towards eliminating KCCO units, Paradis units, and generally any enemy armored group. Their name comes from the common nickname regarding snipers with a charged shot skill, which is Bamboo. When inactive, Gamma 3 typically assists in the training facilities, sometimes along Epsilon 1. After the KCCO betrayal, the need for sniper teams increased dramatically as they have been shown to excel against most KCCO and Paradis forces. Delta 2 Dragon Stars. GCE Delta 2 handles search and rescue operations of recover lost TDALs, often seeking more rare models, and equipment collection similar to the SNR ops. Most often, dolls from other GCEs are temporarily transferred to Delta 2 to go on these search and rescue operations. If no SNR missions are needed, they will run dummy training with less experienced dolls in an effort to train them up with minimal resource usage. In addition, Delta 2 manages weapon and equipment production for Griffin. Delta 2 also manages expedition operations, which are constantly active at all times. Delta 4 DEFY. GCE Delta 4 is an unauthorized task force that was supposedly created by Angelia sometime before the Singularity incident. However, due to Angelia's terrorist declaration during the Singularity incident, her alongside Delta 4 are designated for termination on site. Following the termination of Angelia as well as all members of Delta 4, all records of Delta 4 are to be permanently erased off the Griffin database. Emergency archives are permitted and will only be accessible by a level 4 and 5 clearance. Any individuals or groups that work with Delta 4 will also be designated for termination. Known groups include Omicron 4 and Nu 4. Delta 6 Housewives. GCE Delta 6 specializes in logistics operations, expeditions, internal security, and maintenance within Griffin sites, under direct oversight by Alpha 1. When not in combat, Delta 6 keeps and maintains organization throughout all sites. Delta 6 is mainly made up of unassigned and idle dolls, which make up the majority of Griffin forces. On rare occasions, Delta 6's operations are classified under Level 3 clearance, usually when it involves security breaches by outside forces such as Sangus Ferry and Paradis. Delta 7 Dirty Maids. GCE Delta 7 specializes in cleanup operations involving chemical, biohazard, radiological, and nuclear threats, as well as combat operations where said threats are present. Most of the focus is on eliminating elites inside contaminated zones. A common strategy for Delta 7 is to utilize grenades, as the elite infected typically travel in tightly grouped packs. Dolls with level 3 clearance assigned to Delta 7 will occasionally have help from during cleanup and containment operations. The unit is led by G36 and was formed after Angelia's elite detonation during the Singularity incident. More equipment was handed out to Delta 7 by after the Shattered Connection incident to better protect against the toxic environments. Epsilon 1 Bullet Castle. GCE Epsilon 1 consists of MG teams which specializes in various tasks from crowd control, basic anti-armor, SF Ringleader Judge, Kids of the Yellow Typhoons, possible Beneva revision, and Paradise turrets. However, it is not recommended to send Epsilon 1 against units that are known to have a high evasion value, such as SF Scouts and Paradise Patrollers. Due to the high deployment costs, Epsilon 1 typically doesn't get deployed often, and most are transferred to Delta 6 until an operation requiring MG dolls are needed. Otherwise, Epsilon 1 runs the EdSpeed and data training facilities, as there's no deployment costs in the training facilities. Additionally, enemy formations are evolving towards sniper teams are the only formation that can handle them, further making Epsilon 1 obsolete. Data 2 Scout Riders. GCE Data 2 specializes in scout operations and node capturing with very minimal resource usage. Consisting of only a single pistol per team, preferably ones having an automatic dubbing link, Data 2 cannot engage in combat. Their task consists of providing extra movement for other GCEs and capturing nodes. Hostage rescue and establishing supply routes are also viable options depending on the circumstances. While applicable to both day and night ops, Data 2 is usually sent out at night to scout out enemy positions, secure empty areas to allow deployment of additional GCEs, and/or add mobility to GCEs already deployed. Kappa 5 Cross-Dimensional Militia. GCE Kappa 5 is a collection of units that do not originate, sometimes retrieved by Delta 2. Once recovered by Griffin forces, they are then assigned into Kappa 5 and another GCE, typically either Delta 6, Beta 1, or Gamma 3. As of this iteration, 4 units, Noel, Elpel, Angelica, and Agent Vector, from Kappa 5 have been recruited into Alpha 1. Discoveries of units from other worlds and dimensions are usually found and then passed on to GCE. 5 reported incidents led to Kappa 5 recruitments. Kappa 8 Coalition Task Force. GCE Kappa 8 is a task force comprised of defectors from hostile factions such as Sangus Ferry, KCCO, Paradis. If captured units decide to join Griffin, they are then assigned to Kappa 8. Kappa 8 is to be closely monitored by Delta 6 and Alpha 1. No such combat records of Kappa 8 are made yet, but it is subject to change in the near future. Absolutely no member of Kappa 8 is to be granted any clearance higher than level 2 unless otherwise granted by Alpha 1 or Commander himself. Nu 4 Task Force 404. GCE Nu 4 is a secret special ops group that would handle Griffin's dirty work under oversight by Helion. However, because of their willingness to work alongside Angelia, a confirmed terrorist, New 4 has been placed under orders to capture or terminate on site. Further information regarding New 4 is classified under clearance level 3 and 4.
Level 3 clearance required. Intel from the Foundation suggests that New 4 is actively working with the Chaos Insurgency. This has not yet been confirmed, but investigations led by PICENT are underway to confirm or deny it. Should it be confirmed, a proposal shall be suggested to the O5 Council to activate Directive Omega and form STF Omega 65 to eradicate New 4 for good.
Omicron 4 Anti-Rain. GCE Omicron 4 has been disbanded and decommissioned. All data regarding Omicron 4 are to be permanently deleted off the Griffin database.
Level 3 clearance required. GCE Unit Omicron 4 was formerly the Spec Ops unit known as Anti-Rain. However, due to M16A1's defection over the Census Ferry plus M41 and AR-15's defection over the DEFY, Omicron 4 is now considered disavowed. The remaining members of Omicron 4 are kept under surveillance by Mobile Task Force Alpha 1 Right Hand and Griffin Combat Echelon Alpha 1 Heart-Shaped Eyes. Level 3 classification. PICENT's Neighborhood Watch. GCE PICENT monitors and communicates with other allied factions, mostly the SCP Foundation and the Global Occult Coalition. All interactions between PICENT and the faction are then reported to Alpha 1 and or Commander directly. Whenever the Foundation or GLC requests assistance, PICENT is sent in and a task force is temporarily formed until no longer needed. Task force operations are then redacted by both or all parties involved. Because of this, PICENT's assistance is only among Commander, the O5 Council, GCE Alpha 1 Heart-Shaped Eyes, NTF Alpha 1 Right Hand, and other allied factions. Cases where the allied faction is publicly known within Griffin, communication ties are instead handed to Delta 6.
Omega 1 Glasshammer. GCE Omega 1 specializes in hunting down high-value targets such as doppelsoldners, hydromatic core clusters, and larger clusters of HVTs that would normally be troublesome to deal with. However, they are a fragile unit and often require escorts from another GCE. Led by IWS 2000, Omega 1 is the solution when standard combat teams will not work against much tougher foes. On average, Omega 1 can handle about 3 engagements before taking too much damage to proceed. Under no circumstances is Carcano M9138 or M41 allowed back into Omega 1. Failure to comply will result in disciplinary action, including termination. Omega 2 Battering Ram. GCE Omega 2 specializes in heavy fire support, especially against Paradis's force shields. Consisting of heavy ordnance core, Omega 2 is tasked with escorting other GCEs and preventing direct fire support, destroying enemy structures such as artillery positions, SAM sites, and even as simple as rubble. Oddly enough, they cannot directly fire against enemy positions unless a GCE is directly fighting an enemy group. Omega 2 is split into 3 specialists, with one specializing in anti-shields from units such as doppelsolders, Walderos, Ulans, Nidos, Striders, etc. One specializing in anti-infantry, and one has a mix of anti-shield and anti-infantry.
Level 3 classification. Special Task Force Omega 65 Deathslayer. Whenever the Foundation, GLC, and or Griffin go on a joint operation regarding extreme world-ending battles, STF Omega 65 is created. STF Omega 65 is a joint force comprised of GCE's Alpha 1 Heart-Shaped Eyes, PICENT's Neighborhood Watch, NTF's Alpha 1 Right Hand, Alpha 9 Last Hand, Epsilon 11 9 Tilt 5s, U7 Hammer Down, Elite GLC Strike Teams, and Elite Combatants of the Church of the Broken God. Command of Omega 65 is usually either handed to Galil or an NTF Alpha 1 operative, depending on the situation. Omega 65 is only ever formed whenever an SK scenario or extreme threat occurs. It was only ever activated twice within Dimension 65.